So we finished till Sanya. So now it is Sankhāra. So what is the meaning of Sankhāra? The definition. Let's start with that. Sankharonti iti Sankhāra. That means with what intention you would like to do something is Sankhāra. Can be any intention, good intention, bad intention. So if we look at the Patisamutpada cycle, he says that Punyabhi Sankhāra, Punyabhi Sankhāra, Aninjabhi Sankhāra. So these are three Sankhāra, what one can do. So basically, Sankharas give rise to karma or deeds because we would like to do something. So how do you do something? You do something through eyes and ears and nose and tongue and body and mind. So 6 senses is what you do Sankhāra. So Sabba Sankhāra Samatho, if we were to put it, what it really means is that you are not reacting to either the positive or to the negative. Then your Sankharas are in Samatha. Otherwise, they are going on one side or on the other side. Okay. So if we look at the Patisamutpada in the sense that of Vibhanga, of Abhidhamma, there you will get more explanation on what is Sankhāra itself and how it works. So we have to see Sankhāra from what we make up of. So making up, preparing, or doing something, or choosing, or volition is what Sankhāra is all about. So based upon the Rupa, the form, based upon the feeling, what I am getting, Phassa has happened. So the Rupa created like a plant is giving some rasa, and that rasa is the Vedana. Now based upon that Vedana is the perception of getting happy or feeling sad or pleasant, unpleasant, like that. So there is an identification. So the identification is the Sanya. So the Sankhāra should be either to increase that or to decrease something. So generally we want to decrease the pain and increase the pleasure. Okay. So when I say kama, when I'm enjoying the senses, what it really means is that I want to see the object I want to see. I want to hear the sound I want to hear. I want to get the taste I want to taste. I want to smell the way I want to smell. I want to touch the way I want to touch it. I want to think the way I want it to. So I want is the Sankhāra. It can take 2 dimensions at least minimum. We leave the Aninjabhi side of it. It can take 2 dimensions. One, it can take me to Punyabhi Sankhāra. That means I do noble actions which will still create a Punya Bhagya. Not a Punya Bhagya, but Punya Bhagya. So the Dasa Kusala is Punya Bhagya. Dasa Akusala is Papa Bhagya or Apunya Bhagya. So one that relies on noble act and one that doesn't go as per the noble act is what Punya and Apunya is all about. But both are actions. Both are actions taken. Now there are 3 kinds of action you can take. One through the body, one through the mind, and one through the speech. So generally, vitakka vichara, that is thinking and pondering, is vachi, by speech. Because you have to think and you have to ponder over what you want to speak. And when I want to speak the way I want to speak. So it can get into a Punya Bhagya or Apunya Bhagya. Means I can have a noble or a moral action or a immoral or a non-noble action. Both can happen. So in my body, in my speech, in my mind, what is that is running? So in the Chula Shunyata Sutta, Chula Vedala Sutta. Dhammadina explains this in a very nice fashion, in a singular, not in a plural Sankhāra. It is Sankhāro, just a single. So, if you were to do something, or if I were to do something, it first has to affect the breathing pattern. Asapasa. In anything I do, whether Punya Bhagi or Punya Bhagi, doesn't matter. It is going to affect my breathing pattern. So the asapasa is going to change in the body. Vitakka vichara. So my thinking and pondering causes the breath to change. So the speech connected to the body. And how it is connected? Because of Vedana and Sanya. So whatever I feel, if I go as per that, it creates a Sankhāra. So let's say I want to earn 10,000 rupees or $10,000. What are the ways of earning? There can be a moral way of earning or an immoral way of earning, but I want 10,000. Now, if I go by the moral way, I need to take one path. If I were to go on immoral way, I take another path. So either way I take moral or immoral, the breath pattern is going to change. So for the breath pattern to change, I should have felt it. And I should have perceived that this $10,000 is very important for me. And then only I am going to take action through speech and body. So what Dhammadina says is that first comes Vitakka Vichara, second comes Kaya, third comes the Mano Sankhāra or Chitta Sankhāra. So the word used there is Chitta Sankhāra. She doesn't use it as Mano Sankhāro. So Chitta Sankhāro, Vachi Sankhāro, and Kaya Sankhāra. Three Sankhāra. All these three Sankharas can give the person Punyabhi Sankhāra, a combination of all the actions I have taken, give me a Punyabhi Sankhāra. It is in plural. Sankhāro is in singular. Sankhāra is plural. So, either way, whether I do Punyabhi Sankhāra or Apunyabhi Sankhāra or Aninjabhi Sankhāra, all the Sankharas are nature of arising and passing, anicca. Sabbe Sankhāra anicchati yada panyaya passati atta nibbindati dukkhe eso maggo visuddhi. So if you were to put that, any Sankhāra which is an intention generated out of body, speech and mind will give you something out of it, result, through karma, deed. So now if I take it to be mine, its nature is to arise and pass away. So the practice in the breath and in the vitakka is to remove the vitakka and vichara. That is the first one. So I have to make it as savitakka savichara piti sukha ekagata. Then the vitakka vichara. And the samadhi is avitakka vicharo samadhi. Because that's the best samadhi you can ever have. Okay. So we need to understand that Sankhāra is an intentional action. So what are these intentional action? Chakku sanchetana, dhana sanchetana, jivha sanchetana, kaya sanchetana, mano sanchetana. Sanchetana, it's not just chetana. Chetana aham bhikkave kammam vadami. So the intention is what I call as karma, but this is sanchetana. That is with a desire to get a fruit, with a desire to get something. I am doing an action which is a Sankhāra, or rather Sankhāro, singular. Sankhāra is plural. So what we are first understanding is Sankhāro. Sankhāro as in Kaya Sankhāro, Vachi Sankhāro, Chitta Sankhāro. Sankhāra as in, if we were to take a Sankhāra as in Punyabhi Sankhāra, Apunyabhi Sankhāra, Anenjabhi Sankhāra. This is what we need to understand on the Sankhāra. And Sankhāra you will not do, or Sankhāro will not be done unless it is felt and perceived. That feeling and perception should convert itself into a speech. You have to think it over. So that becomes Vitakka Vichara. And then the Asapassa. So to get into Nibbana, first I need to cut the Vachi Sankhāra, then I need to cut this Kaya Sankhāra. Finally, the Mano Sankhāra will go away. Yes. Yes, Sachin, go ahead.
So the Vedna and Sanya itself are Sankhāra, but that creates the Sankhāra which you call Vitakka Vichara, the grosser Sankhāra, right?
Yes.
In effect, everything is Sankhāra.
Everything is Sankhāra, yes.
Yeah.
That's the reason Phassa Samudayo, Vedana Samudayo, Phassa Samudayo, Sanya Samudayo, Phassa Samudayo, Sankhāra Samudayo.
Yeah, but this sequence now always confuses me. Generally speaking, subtle to gross if we think, Vedna Sanya is subtle, Vitakka Vichara is little bit grosser, Kaya is more grosser. So this sequence now, when this line comes now, practically it feels, okay, first you stop thinking, then breath stops, then Vedana stops. If we think about jhana, this sequence makes sense. But it seems like why this sequence is not typical sequence, grosser to subtle. Like first you stop thinking, then breathe stops. Even though breathe is grosser than thinking, and then subtle stops. So middle, then gross, and then subtle.
Okay, so there is an answer to it.
Yeah.
You actually answered it, but let's put it in a very nice way. So you have also done Vipassana, I have done Vipassana, and anyway, Thero is doing a lot of Vipassana. First, what happens when you go there? The Vitakka is removed. You are not supposed to speak to anyone. So now you have left. Yes.
Yeah. So at that time I concluded like this: because you feel, you breathe, and because you breathe, you think.
Fine, no worries. So we'll answer that. So let's first get into the Vipassana course. 10 days, 20 days, whatever days it doesn't matter. So let's say I enroll, and that day I am told you cannot talk to anyone and you should not be seeing anyone also, no gestures. Vitakka Vichara, the subtle Vitakka Vichara is body language. That is, in the Rupa, if you look at the Rupa, there is, apart from Lahuta, Mudita and all that, there is another called as Vachi and also Kaya. Two things are there. So there is a speech which creates a body language. The body itself has a body language. Okay. Now the maximum of our interaction with people is through body language. So even in our day-to-day working, we were to look at a leadership training, or we take a project management or whatever, communication, non-verbal communication is more than verbal communication. So basically we have 95% of non-verbal communication and only 5% is verbal communication through body language. So whatever I am thinking itself is a language. I am using words to express it. That's the only thing I am doing. I am just converting it into some language. So it can be in Kannada or in Marathi or in Sinhala or in English or in whichever language, Gujarati.
Vohra they say, right? Vohra.
Yeah.
Speaking. Vachi Sankhāra is not speaking.
Vachi Sankhāra is not speaking. It is consisting of two body languages into one. So when I take a gross, it is speaking the words which are coming from my mouth. That's a gross. If I take subtle, it is the thinking. And if I take even more subtle to that, that is vitakka is the subtlest. Or rather, if you come from the back, subtlest. If you come from the front, it is the grossest. Depends on how vitakka and vichara are functioning. Sometimes I am pondering over it, which becomes subtle. I have already thought over what I should be speaking. Sometimes my vitakka is the most subtlest, whereas vichara is already there. How? I want to come to Baroda. Okay. Now I don't have to think. Already my mind is set. Or like you are coming to Bangalore, it's already set. You have made a vitakka. You have decided. You have thought over it. You have made it. Come to Bangalore. Vichara is what you want to do in Bangalore is vichara. Okay. Now that's what you are going to do. Even Thero will be thinking what I will do in Bangalore. So he has many options. So vitakka is gross in this case because already decided, and vichara is what you are going to keep on changing. You keep on pondering over it. I am going to Bangalore, so now I am going to say for 5 days. What is that I need to achieve? What is that you want to do, etc., etc.
Yeah, the best example is walking, right?
Yeah.
We decide to walk, and the decision is always there while walking.
Correct.
But actually, your body is taking next step, next step, next step. Every time you are not thinking
Correct.
whether I should raise my left leg or right leg. It just automatically happens. You are just charati walking.
Yes.
Whereas your vitakka is clear. I am walking.
Yes. Correct. That's a right example. So first time, vitakka can be subtle, vichara might be gross. Second time, vitakka is gross, vichara is. So when you
What is the example of vichara is subtle, vitakka is gross?
now coming to Bangalore, your vitakka is gross.
Oh.
What you want to accomplish, subtle.
Hmm.
What you
Oh,
want to accomplish is not what Thero wants to accomplish. He has a different idea.
okay. So what you said is the subtle or gross can be differ, but thing is vitakka is one pointedness and vichara is the world around it.
Exactly. Yes. Yam vitakketi tam papancheti. Not yam vichareti tam papancheti. Yam vitakketi tam papancheti. So whatever one is thinking on, he'll create a papancha on that. So sankharas are always papancha oriented. Meaning pancha as in the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana oriented. The pancha. When we say papancha, what is this papancha? Pancha is 5. The papancha is considering it as one single, as though a unit. So it has everything. So now coming back to this, when I want to meditate, let's take that as an example. I want to meditate. I want to meditate is a vitak. How to meditate is vichara. So vachi sankhara. In my mind it is going. Then we might ask another question, then what is Mano Sankhara doing? Mano Sankhara is only feeling and perception, nothing else. It feels, it perceives. It feels, it perceives. Now we'll come to Mano Sankhara later. Let's first finish this Vitakka point. Vitakka Vichara Vachi Sankharo. Now as soon as I start thinking and pondering Vitakka Vichara, what should I meditate upon? My breathing pattern will change. Till the time Vitakka Vichara is not ended, the breathing will not be alright. So what I should do now? It's a big problem. Because Vitakka Vichara will not help in Kaya Sankharo. Kaya Sankharo will not help me in Vachi Sankharo. They are interrelated. Now, if you take the Vipassana class, which I liked it the most, is that you are cutting off the nimitta, number one, because that is where the vitakka vichara starts. So now the vitakka vichara is not there. Why? You are not supposed to interact with anyone. Simple. Can't speak. You can't even make gestures. Now you can only think on whatever is a breath. That's the only thing you can do. Nothing else you can do. There is no way you can do anything. So then you will have slowly kaya sankhara. Passambhayam kaya sankharan asasissameti sakati. Passambhayam kaya sankharan passasissa. And the kaya sankhara is asapassa. So because vitakka vichara is going away and you are watching the breath, what happens? The breath will come.
So can I say that because we feel, because that, so we think that is clear cut, but breathing is residuals of it. Let's say I stop thinking, Vitakka vichara is not there totally, but the breathing goes on for some time and then it stops.
Correct.
Right? It's not linear.
Instantaneously, no.
It's not linear. You feel, so you breathe, so you think. Not that. The relation is between feeling and thinking. That's all. The breathing is reflection of thinking, but it's like a train, right? So
Right.
you stop the engine, train still continues running.
For some time, till the time the feeling and perception doesn't stop.
So clear cut question is: we think so we breathe, or we breathe so we think?
Both. It is a cyclical. The moment you start thinking, you start breathing. The moment you start breathing, the more you think. So when we say breathing, what is the act of breathing? Act of breathing has two. One for survival of the six senses. One for doing something. So when we want to do something, intention, the breathing changes till that action has been taken. Can be any action, but the breathing will change. Breathing pattern will change. I'll give some easy examples. I am supposed to go to hospital. Nimitta is hospital. First thing. Nimitta is hospital. Now what is that? Why I am going to hospital? Because I have to do an annual health check. They are not checking me. They are checking the health of this body. But since I have attachment to the body, I feel I am going to hospital. This feeling of hospital, the perception of hospital, is creating a vitakka vichara on what will happen in the hospital. So I created a papancha now. Yam papancheti, that is yam vitakketi tam papancheti, yam papancheti tato tam nidanam purisa. Nidana is the origin. Purisa, what does he do? Papancha sanya sankha samudacharanti. Okay. Now let's take that. I have to go to the hospital. Wait, Sachin. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, you finish.
Yeah. So first stop thinking, then breathe stops. Right? But vice versa should also be possible. Like mostly this in Hindu, this tantrics are doing, right. They stop breathing, and so thinking stops, right. So that is also possible.
Yeah.
They forcefully stop breathing.
It is like nama rupa with vinyana, vinyana with nama rupa. So you can't say which is starting what. They both
so both way is possible. I can stop. Yes. I can forcefully stop breathing, and that will stop thinking.
Yeah, if you do regularly, if you do around 15 bhastika pranayama, push the air out so much that you stop. There's no thinking. And it can be done instantaneously.
And that's why it proves that it is cyclical.
Yes, it is cyclical. Yes, Thero, go ahead.
We are getting some day-to-day life examples. Can't we discuss this thing using jhana?
Jhana.
Yeah, because when we are in Patamajjana, the Vitakka Vichara is there.
Yes, I want to take that.
Then second,
I will explain
uh,
that. But first, I want to explain the worldly things, and then we will go to that Aninjabi Sankhāra.
Yeah, from jhana point of view only we are discussing, because in first jhana, Vitakka Vichara stop, then in fourth jhana, breathing stop, typically people are saying.
Correct.
So the Buddhist way of practicing meditation is stop thinking and it will eventually breathing will stop. Whereas there are other methods also which is reverse of this. That's what we are telling.
Yes, Thero, go ahead.
uh, when we are doing walking meditation, if we stop, if it will be stop Vitakka Vichara, we can't do further walking.
No, it's not
It
like
will
that. So
stop.
I wanted to explain what is breathing. So there are two activities, right? One for survival, one for the six senses. The survival one will continue. If you are walking, the breathing of oxygen is continuing, but there is no change in the breathing pattern. See, if there are activity being done, that is called kirya, or in Sanskrit karya. You're doing kirya, which doesn't have anything to take or give. It has one pattern of breathing. Yes, go ahead. So,
I got his confusion because when he asked, I was also confused. But my understanding is like this. What he's trying to ask is, people can walk and also can be in jhana, right? So there is no stopping of breathing.
no.
Right?
I want to
But-
come to that Aninjabi just in
But,
a few minutes.
my point, my simple English word for this is delegate, right? If I delegate my walking, I am not walking.
Correct.
So I train my body and I become away from this walking concept itself. The walking will continue, it will not stop because I am not sync with the walking and I am away from it, and that way somehow I am in jhana.
Oh, okay, I think we are. Then let me first finish jhana and we come to the other side. Okay, now what is jhana? The definition of jhana is vitakka vichara piti sukha ekagata, or savitakka savichara piti sukha ekagata is jhana, from the very perspective of the definition. Okay, now let's take a proper way. So when Buddha says Titomi iti pajanati, nisinnomi iti pajanati, gatomi iti pajanati, sayanomi iti pajanati, in the four posture, Iriyapappa. What it means? You are aware that this is sitting. You are not sitting. You are aware that this is sitting. The body is sitting. Body is standing. The body is walking. Body is sleeping. But you are unmoved of it. You are not moving along with the body, nor you are sitting, nor you are standing, and etc. Now I'll give you an example. When I am asked to do 1 hour meditation, 2 actions. Vitakka vichara is happening. 1 hour. The mind is moving to 1 hour. Actually, there is no time. There is no concept of time. So I have gone into Atita, Anagata, and in the Pachuppanna. So what is happening? If somebody says, Vilas, you have to meditate for 1 hour now, and put a timer, in the mind also I am putting the timer. It is the feeling and perception. Okay? That creates a gross sensation in the vachi, which is vitakka. I start thinking on that and I start pondering on that. Whether 1 hour is over, or I am now, should I have done half an hour now, and etc. etc. So my breathing pattern is completely changed. I am not able to observe the breath. because of the feeling that I have to sit for 1 hour, and perceiving that I have to sit for 1 hour ensured that I have a vitakka, and that ensured that I have a problem with the kaya, which is asaphasa. What if when I sit, it's conventional to say that sit for 1 hour? Okay, just convention. I can sit for 1 hour, I can sit for 10 minutes, I can sit for 5 hours, I can sit as long as I want. There's no restriction, constriction. Then what happens? The vitakka vichara is gone. When the vitakka vichara is gone, the breath comes back to its normal state. Normal state means what? Just for living, just for survival. So if you really observe, which I have done, 15 breaths per minute comes down to 3 breaths in a minute. Just 3 breaths. If you even more deepen it, it comes to 2 breaths in a minute. A whole 60 seconds, you had only breathing for twice. How? You're sitting, suddenly you feel like taking a deep breath. It automatically goes. You're not forcing, you're not doing anything. And then after that, no breath. For a long period, it is not there. Yes, Thero, go ahead.
When I was young, not like this. When I was young, when I was doing those days Anapanasati, it, at least no one breath for 1 hour meditation. Uh, such kind of things was such kind of experience was yeah in I was young.
Yes. So if you don't have vitakka vichara, the body will only take when it is required, the breath when it is required, not whenever you want it.
And you will not be aware of breathing at all.
Yes. And actually this happened in the Vipassana class also. Observing. I think for the whole 1 hour, if I were to use the word think, just that word, not really thinking, I would have taken 10 breaths or maximum 15 breaths, not beyond that, for the entire 1 hour. Why? What it means? It means that it has become so subtle, there is nothing felt in the nose. Great. Then after that, what happens? For a very long time, the body will.
And in fact, the whole body breathes, right? Every pore of the body breathes.
Exactly.
It's not breath breathing that is we are dependent on.
Yes. So you will also come to see, you intensify the practice, you will see that the breath is the whole body. Whole body comes up, the whole body comes down. It's not only the nose which is going up and going down.
No, I mean to say not whole body breathing experience.
Now we got a second point. The first point is you will see the whole body going up and down. And secondly, you will also see that the oxygen is entering from body, not nose only. In fact, it has pores everywhere. Body takes much as it requires. No need for nasal breathing.
And that's why it is not Kaya Sankhāra, right?
Yes.
That body itself breathing is not Kaya Sankhāra.
No, it is not. So that's the reason the breathing will stop. Because there is no vitakka vichara. Yes, Thero, go ahead.
In yoga tradition also it is mentioned like that. Whole body, not only nose, whole body will do breathe in and breathe out.
Correct. So
when I was doing yoga, 12 years ago, my yoga teacher taught me 64 breathe in meditation. We used more than 64 parts to breathe in and breathe out of our body. not only nose.
Yeah,
60. We train to breathe in and breathe out using 64 points of body.
good. So the yes,
When we say vitakka, I'm just thinking, what is the relation between nimitta and vitakka? I was thinking that whatever nimitta you have grasped is vitakka.
will
Vitakka
create vitaka.
will create vitakka.
So if you are in animitta, no vitaka happens. So that's the reason. If you have seen the Samanya Palasutta, the next thing after establishing Sila is Indriya Samvara.
Will create vitakka. I thought nimitta itself is vitakka, but you have just grasped it.
No, no, no. The nimitta, the symbol will create where? It's in Sanya. For which you should have Vedana. The moment Vedana comes, your breathing pattern changes. For which you should have a Vitakka. So now all the three are connected. Kaya Sankhāro is connected to Vachi Sankhāro is connected to Mano Sankhāro. Now you have to stop it somewhere. Now where should I stop it? To understand Vedana and Sanya, which is the mental formation only, I should stop Vitakka Vichara. That is an easiest thing I can do.
But let's say, how will I stop vitakka? Vitakka means not this conceptual thinking I'm talking
got
about,
it.
right?
So how
The
do you,
real definition of this vitakka.
so now how do you stop it? So there are many ways of accomplishing. One way of accomplishing is what is indicated in Maharahulavada Sutta. Don't do Anapanasati. First, get out of this Ajjatta Bahidda concept itself. And then the Vitakka Vichara will fall down. Say, my mind is.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, but that is practicality. Okay, I have experience like that. But what is the technical relation?
Technical relation means what?
Why doing that results into stopping of vitakka? Why I'm not directly able to stop vitakka.
No, that is why, that is what Visakha asked that question to. The same question Visakha asked to Dhammadinna. Why? And she says this is how it works. First, Vitakka Vichara, second is Asaphasa, third is Vedana and Sanya.
No. This all the methods by which I stop vitakka. One of the method you said is Maharahulava, right? The other is Animitta, you will say. Let's say. Why doing that results into stopping of vitakka?
Because there is nothing to be grasped.
Yeah, so first grasp the nimitta and then vitakka happens. So
Yes.
not grasping is stopping vitakka.
Now let's first understand how does Vitakka happen.
That's what my question. Technicality of vitakka.
How does Vitakka happen? Vitakka should have an object. Otherwise, there is no thinking. Can be any object, mental object, physical object, emotions, this, that, you put whatever you want. It requires an object. Okay.
Namarupa.
Namarupa.
The image.
That image. Either it is created already, which you will take it, grasp it, or something you created. Let's take this. We should not forget the equation. Chakkuncha patticha rupecha uppajati chakku vinyana. No problem in that. It just created a vinyana. You just saw something. Okay, that has no problem. What doesn't have any problem? You recognize the object has no problem. Recognition has no problem. Okay, that's when for an arhat is same, when for a normal worlding is same. Just vinyana. Knowing. The knower is that. Between chakku and the rupa. Or sota and the shabda. Ghana and the jiva. Sorry, Ghana and the gandha. Jiva and the rasa. Kaya and the pottabha. Mano and dhamma. All the six. Each individual vinyana has come. Is there any problem with that? Here there is no vitakka. Absolutely no vitakka. Because it just connected two things.
Ditamattam is this point.
Tinna sangati phasso. Now this is where the problem starts. It just like fruit, you squeeze it, some rasa comes out. The phassa is that rasa. Now you have a decision making. What to do with that rasa? You want to drink it, you want to throw it, you want to do this, you do that, is where the vitakka is basically placed. Now for that it requires one additional step, vedana. So, chinna sangati phassa, phassa pachaya vedana. Now there is a feeling. Because of that rasa coming, there is a feeling. That feeling can be in three ways, which we have already spoken. But the feeling by itself cannot do anything. It requires a perception. Intellect is required to decide what to do. It's a decision maker. So it creates a symbol to go back again and again and see whether the decision was correct or wrong. With that decision only is the vitakka. Yam sanjanati tam vitakketi. Yam vedeti tam sanjanati. Yam sanjanati tam vitakketi.
So what happened between Sanjanati and Vitakkati?
Sanjanati creates a food for the vitakka. Each is a food. Vijnana is one food. That gave rise to phassa is another food. That gave rise to vedana is another food. Vedana giving rise to the sanjanana is another food. Then now in the Putta Mamsa Sutta, what does he say? 4 ahara. Vijnana ahara, phassa ahara 2. Mano sanchetana ahara. This is where we are talking now. So the vitakka vichara portion of Sankhāra creates disturbance because of the mano Sankhāra, which is feeling and perception. Now the center point is vitakka vichara. So what Sariputta did in the Dasuttara Sutta as well as Sangiti Sutta is that he clarified that. We have seen, it says, what is the 3 types of samadhi? Savitakka savichara samadhi, savitakka avichara samadhi, avitakka avichara samadhi. Out of that, avitakka avichara samadhi is the best samadhi. Now we might just read it and leave it, but it is such a depth of it. First samadhi, savitakka savichara samadhi, is the one you cut out all the worldly object. How do you cut it? Etan santan etan panitan yadidam sabba sankhara samato sabbupadi patinisaggo tanhakhayo virago nirodho nibbana. One way you keep on thinking and pondering over it, the world connection of vitakka vichara fades away. One. Second one, whenever you want to meditate, bring the guna of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Whenever it is. Now you come home, you want to sit and meditate, just don't start meditating. Because you are in vitakka vichara. It has to be removed. Replaced by savitakka savichara. So what you should do? Do the Buddha Vandana. Then you say Buddha Guna, whatever it is, Iti so Bhagava, Araham, Samma, Sambuddha, that one. Dhamma and Sangha. Now you do vichara of that. What is Buddha? What is this? What is that? Even though you have done it yesterday, but still fine. After 20 minutes, none of the worldly kind of vitakka vichara is not there. So it became avitakka avichara of the worldly kind. So the images are gone, replaced by the images of the Buddha, the guna. So Buddha guna, Dhamma guna, Sangha guna. After doing that, what I should do? Create avitakka now. Don't bring it back again and again, because if you keep on bringing it back again and again, the defilements will not come on the surface. So the next step is, you have understood the Guna, you see what guna you don't have now. And try to develop the guna, Dhamma guna. Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo. Am I able to understand the Dhamma myself? Sandhittiko. Am I able to see it? Akaliko. Ehipasiko. Like that I able to see it. Now drop that off. That creates environment for avitakka, avichara. There is nothing to think, nothing to ponder. I've already thought, already pondered. There's nothing more to do it. So it fades away. You watch, this fades away. When it fades away, the breath also comes subtle, stops. Because the breathing is happening entire body. There's nothing more to breathe. The six senses are cut off totally. Because this breathing is for the senses, which is due to vitakka vichara. Now that itself is not there. So the kaya sankharo is not there. Because vachi sankharo is not there. Kaya sankharo is not there. Kaya sankharo is not there. Then the beautiful first thing that happens is animitta happens of everything. Yes.
Can I say the Sankhāra whole package is being represented by Vitakka Vichara in second phase? So
Yes.
out of Sankhāra you first fell,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then this Sankhāra itself is being expressed as, okay, after once you perceive, now it is latched onto the perception and expressed as Vitakka. The same Sankhāra.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not that one Sankhāra makes you feel, another Sankhāra makes you think, and then another Sankhāra makes you do.
No.
It's one Sankhāra expressed in this three way.
Yes, that's the reason she says sankharo, singular, and sankhara as in plural. To drive home the point, Dhammadina says that there are three sankhara, kaya, vachi and mano sankhara. In reality, mano sankhara creates a vachi sankhara and vachi sankhara creates the kaya sankhara. So,
Or rather than create, express is better word. First it expressed as feeling, and then same Sankhāra get expressed as
exactly.
Vitakka.
Now the samatha here is to see all that thing which is coming up, either in the kaya or in the chakku or sota, ghana, jivha, all that will have a variation in the breath. If I am not reacting to the breath at all, then the sankharas will come on the surface and by itself will get eliminated. You don't have to do anything specific to make that eliminated. Now by doing something special, I am doing abhisankhara, which itself is a problem. So ultimately, it's only sankhara arising and sankhara passing. Okay? There's a dukkha arising and dukkha passing. There's no person out there, it's only sankhara. If I do a sankhara, I know what sankhara I am doing now. Doing a punyabhi sankhara. Or I am doing anenjabhi sankhara. Only two sankharas I am doing. If I get into meditative state, jhana, then I am doing anenjabi sankhara. In fact, it is so nice to be in anenjabi. Inja means scattered. Uninja means non-scattered. The sankhara which will make the mind to stay still is anenjabi sankhara. So it's an intentional staying in a particular state.
And that's why this sequence of first do anapana and then do vipassana of Goenka actually technically makes sense, but the practically doesn't make sense because okay, they do for 5 minutes and then jump to vipassana.
Correct.
Ideally the message is very good. First you focus on your breathing.
Correct.
When it is calmed down, now what left is sankhara is there only, but it is represented as feeling only.
Absolutely. That's correct.
Otherwise, when your breathing is gross, the same sankhara you are seeing is a grosser breathe. Now you cannot feel it. You are not subtle enough to see the sankhara at feeling level.
Yes. And another thing, if you have noticed, when you have a guided meditation, the guidance itself is removal of the worldly vitakka vichara.
The guidance itself is savitaksa vichara.
Exactly. Guidance itself is savitakka. So you should get piti, sukha, ekagata in the end.
And that's why guided meditation always works.
Yes. And getting that environment where you cannot do any verbalization, any nimitta, symbolization, helps in avitakka vichara. So now you are watching the Kaya Sankhāra, Asaphasa. So when you are doing Asaphasa for a long time, you should achieve state where the feelings and perception, which are the true Sankhāras,
Are directly seen. Are directly seen.
yes, that starts coming out. It starts coming out because it either comes as a pain or it comes as a pleasure. Or you are not reacting to either to pain or to the pleasure. It will. Now, if you do the same thing while at home, exactly the same, you can do it 24/7. Okay, that's how it is. Now you can do it in all the postures. Why only sitting posture? Why not in standing posture? Why not in walking posture? Why not in sleeping posture? You can. Even you should. So in the Iriya Pabba, it is all the four. Then it goes one level deeper, which is Sampajanana, which is your senses are completely restrained in all the postures. That means you see Sankhāras are only Sankhāra. I want to move my hand. I want to take back my hand. It's a Sankhāra. It's not Abhisankhāra. Just a Sankhāra. So now I see the Sankhāras arising, passing away. Arising, passing away. My hand came like this. Now it is gone back. Anicca-vata Sankhāra. Uppada Vaya Dhammino. Now I am seeing the Uppada Vaya. Upajjitva Nirujjanti. I am not attached to that. Te san upasamos. Now I see Sukha. No more Abhisankharas. No more Abhisankhara, no more Vijnana. No more Vijnana, no more Namarupa. No more Namarupa, no more Salayatana. No more Salayatana, no more Phassa. No more Phassa, no more Vedana. No more like that. So the avidya of anicca dukkha anatta has turned itself into vidya of understanding anicca dukkha anatta, because I am seeing every action is just a sankhara, not an abhisankhara, the kiriya. That is just do, that's it, nothing more than that. No sitting for meditation. No, that's abhisankhara. And as long as there is abhisankhara, you will have problem of either punyabhisankhara, apunyabhisankhara, anenjabhisankhara. If I don't want all the three, just see sankhara. So for that I have to practice avitakka vichara. Create avitakka vichara, I need to have something. So sila is that one which gives rise to avitakka vichara. So as strong as the sila, so strong is my samadhi. And so strong is my samadhi, so strong is my panya. Little bit of sila, little bit of samadhi, little bit. Highest amount of sila, highest amount of panya. Because now I can see the sankhara arising and passing away. Now I have samatha, sankhara. Now I can dance. Sabba sankhara samatho, or I can say sabbe sankhara anicchati yada panyaya passati. Now I am seeing it from a wisdom. Yes, this is what sankhara is. Wisdom. Atha nibbindati dukkhe yeso maggo visuddhiya sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada panyaya passati. Atha nibbindati dukkhe yesa maggo visuddhiya sabbe sankhara anattati yada panyaya passati. Nibbindati atha nibbindati dukkhe yeso maggo. So I saw on the sankharas are anicca sankhara. dukkha, sankhara, anatta. Now what this hand gesture, making like this, doing like this, have to do with me? This is done by everyone. There's no me in that. Since there is no me in that, there is no abhisankhara there. So there is no punya bhagya, there is no apunya bhagya, there is no anenjabi. I can still do anenjabi sankhara for getting out of sensuality. So for that I take anenjabi sankhara. Knowing that Buddha and respecting Buddha, respecting the Dhamma, respecting the Sangha will give me punya abhisankhara. And I will stop completely apunya bhagya sankhara. So sankhara of punya, apunya. So either I have punya or I have anenjabi. Only two things. So at death, if I am an anagami, means I am in anenjabi because I have a rupa raga, arupa raga. So I will be born there. Or since I have punya bhagya, I don't have apunya bhagya, so then it lands me either in the deva realm or in the human realm. It will not take me to the apayas. In whichever way I take the sankharas, the apunya bhagya sankhara is removed. Only punya bhagya remains. And that's the reason in the Dasuttara, not in Dasuttara, the 40, in that Mahachattarasika Sutta, he says that there are two kinds of samadhiti. One is punya bhagya, one is ariya. So the samadhiti of knowing that it is karma and the dana and all that is a punya bhagya. Ariya is knowing the things as they are. Ahara samudayo, rupa samudayo, phasa samudayo, vedana samudayo, phasa samudayo, sanya samudayo, phasa samudayo, sankhara samudayo, nama rupa samudayo, vinyana samudayo. And other side of it, that is rupa nirodho, ahara nirodho, rupa nirodho, phasa nirodho, sanya nirodho, vedana nirodho, sanya nirodho, sankhara nirodho. Finally, nama rupa nirodho. This is ariya magga. That is punya bhagya. This is. So, the moment I am in ariya, I have cut off the sankharas. The samatha has happened. So, my meditation should be only on this. On looking at savitakka savichara. First bring savitakka savichara, then remove the vitakka vichara, which make the body still. Sabba sankhara, pasambhayankaya sankharan, asasistameti sikkati, pasambhayankaya sankharan. And with that, Vedana and Sanya bringing in Nibbana. That is the Paramam Sukha. That's it. So while you are here, Sachin will practice it. Now that we know Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and tomorrow we Vijnana, that will close this.
Did you discuss with Asutosh on 30 days how they are teaching Vijnana stopping? You know that?
I couldn't discuss in length. I only spoke to him about what I felt, and I told him, he said the Vijnana is done only in the 30th day. That is Nama Rupa Samudaya, Vijnana Samudaya, Nama Rupa Nirodho, Vijnana Nirodho.
You didn't ask how they are doing.
He didn't tell me how they are doing, neither I asked him, because we were on a different discussion. We couldn't discuss many things. So when you are here, I will talk to you in length or in detail. But Sadhajiva Thero explained about the 20 days. So while he is here, we can find out the difference between 10 and 20 and 30.
Yeah, 20 days I am going on May.
You're going in May. You already signed up. Okay. So thing is like this. The 10 day, it is 1/3, 2/3 format, right? 1/3 on Anapana and 2/3 is on Vipassana. 20 day it will be 7 and 14.
Yeah.
And 30 day will be 10 and 30. That much I came to understand.
Yeah, that I know.
But the method will remain the same.
Yeah, method will remain same. Only lectures will change and the way you look at the next day practice will change. That's all.
Correct.
Practice is same. Practice is same, but your point of view changes.
Yeah, point of view change. Fine then. So in May means 5 months away from. Do it and then I will get to hear from you first time. I mean, anyway, we would have heard from Sadhajiva, but we hear from you. Okay, then good day and meet you tomorrow. Bye.